Alright, we just finished the Witch's Tea Party from Chapter 7. Are we getting a... We are getting a new menu. Oh my goodness. I am so glad that I clicked the big ol' record button for that, because I was not certain I'd get one, but I realized there's a chance we might, as they sometimes change them around. We're going to be starting up Chapter 8. This might be a bit of a short segment, but who knows? There's Episode 8, The Twilight of the Golden Witch. Good morning. To think this is goodbye brings me great sadness as well. I've prepared a farewell party for this night. There will be a game tournament as well, so I ask you to participate with vigor. Like pepper, the difficulty comes in tiny yet spicy grains. Why not participate yourself now at the very end? Ready to get started? Let's open the doors to Chapter 8. An obviously fictional and fantastic in nature story? Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. Let's dig in. Okay. Back to the chapel we go. The two silhouettes could be seen in the chapel. As big brother and a little sister. The big brother who would never return from that day 12 years in the past, and the little sister who waited all alone 12 years in the future. However, the big brother knew everything, understood everything, and the little sister knew nothing and understood nothing. The little sister remained as the girl she had been 12 years before. She remained a 6-year-old forever. He sobbed. The sobs into his chest finally subsided. He quietly waited for his next words. After patting her gently, the big brother fished around inside his shirt pocket. Then he took that out. Are you listening, Ange? Take good care of this. What is it? A key? Battler took a large key attached to a necklace out of his pocket and held it out to Ange. It was large enough to cover his entire palm. Oh, that's fancy. Little Ange probably wouldn't be able to wrap her hand all the way around it. Wait, how big? I thought this was Ange of 12 years in the future, or is this present Ange? Is this present Ange or 12 years in the future Ange? The key glittered gold and had a beautiful, intricate design. Its weight alone made it clear this key was something very, very important. Battler put the necklace around Ange's neck. This precious key is yours alone. What's it for? The time to use it will come soon. Looks nice. It's a bit big for a necklace, but you know, it looks nice. When it does, you'll have to decide for yourself. Understand? I understand. Of course, she didn't have a clue what Battler was saying. Look at this cute little Ange. This is clearly not 18-year-old Ange. Do we have... Ah, I tried. I was trying to look at her profile. Can't see it. No clue what Battler's saying, but she realized he was telling her to take good care of this key. So Ange nodded, at least in response to that part. In her hand, the key felt heavy. However, now that it was around her neck, it felt as light as an ordinary necklace. How strange. Let's go. Where to? She had been sure her brother was about to sit down. After all, just a second ago he said he'd tell her what happened on Rockin'Jima that day. She expected him to tell her there.
あの日
Or here, sorry.
あの島で
On that day, on that island.
何があったのか
Just what is it that happened?
お兄ちゃんがそれを聞かせてくれるんじゃないの？
You're gonna tell me about that, Oni-chan?
聞かせるとも
Absolutely.
話して
And you'll be given the chance to
聞かせ
listen.
でもそれはエンジにはただ
However,
話
to
を
you,
聞いているだけに
it may
は
not feel as though you're
感じられない
merely
かもしれない
listening to a story.
それはどういうこと？
What does that mean?
エンジが本当に望んでいるのはあの日あの島であったことを
What you really want isn't to know what happened on the island on that day. So he does understand, after all. What happened on the island that day? Trying to answer was all I was capable of, so I wished for nothing more. But if I could, I'd want to go there. That island on that day. To Rakanjima on the day I couldn't go, to the Ashiramiya family mansion. To Mom and Dad. To all the cousins, all the relatives. Everyone else. I want to go back to that island on that day, so I remain the way I was on that day. My heart and soul stopped, stuck as a 6-year-old's forever.
帰りたいの。私は
I want to go home.
分かってる
I know.
お父さんとお母さん、お兄ちゃん、
Mom, Dad, Oni-chan. I like how she actually said Dad, Mom, Oni-chan. But they changed it around because it doesn't sound as good in English.
みんな、
Everyone?
私はみんなのところへ
I want to
帰
go
り
home
たい。
to where everyone is.
だから招くことにしたんだ
That's why I've decided to invite you there. Burn Castell's inviting young NJ now too. Oh boy, here we go.
お兄ちゃんはもうゲームマスターなんだ
Your Oni-chan is the game master now.
ゲーム版のすべてを知る者だけがゲーム版を開き
Only those who know everything about the game board can open it up and invite pieces in.
だから俺はエンジェをゲ
I'll
ーム版
invite
に
you to come to the game board.
招待する
私をあの日の六軒島へ連れて行ってくれるの？
You'll take me to Rakanjima on that day?
ああ
That's right.
エンジェを1986年の
I'll invite you to the Rakanjima of 1986.
招待しよ
会えるの？
Will I
みんなに。
be able to see everyone?
うもちろん
Of course, of course. Why wouldn't she be able to see everyone? That only makes sense.
私、もう記憶もおぼろげで、みんなの顔、はっきりと思い出せないのに。
Even though my memory's vague, I can't remember anyone's face clearly?
すぐに思い出すさ
You'll remember soon enough.
そしてエンジェにとっては12年ぶりの再会でも
Though it'll be a reunion after 12 years for
俺
you.
たちにとってはしばらくぶりでしかないんだ
It'll only have been a short gap for us.
みんな歓迎する
Everyone will welcome you.
12年の遠い未来から
When you finally
Yo,
return
yeah,
from the distant
Angel.
future, everyone will welcome you.
みんな歓迎してくれる
私はいつまでもそこにいられるの？
Will I be able to stay there forever? This way I can be with everyone forever. It's the goal I'm supposed to reach.
エンジェよくお聞き
Ange listened to me carefully. The battler spoke in an admonishing tone, as though warning me this was a dream that wouldn't be
六
granted.
軒島の親族会議は一泊で終わる
The Rakanjima family conference usually ends after a
あの
single
日
night.
は台風だったから船の都合で2泊だったけれどね
Because of the typhoon that day, the boat couldn't come and it lasted 2
それ
nights.
が過ぎたら、私は島から帰らなくてはならないの？
But when the typhoon passes, I'll have to leave the island again?
少し違う
Not
そ
exactly.
れを決めるのも
That decision's yours as
エン
well.
ジェなんだ
Ange?
エンジェがそれを決める
You'll decide that yourself. I understand, of course. I don't exist on that island on that day. It's a miracle just to be invited there like this. Big Sage knowing Burn's gonna kick little NJ on the playground. Yeah. Just the 2 days before the typhoon passes. Just getting those 2 days to myself is already the sort of miracle that will never come again. If I'm greedy enough to ask for more, the faint miracle might vanish. Even though I thought this, my young heart, still 6 years old, wasn't satisfied with such a short-lived miracle.
帰りたくない。
I don't want to leave. I know.
わかり、
いつまでもみんなと一緒にいる。
I want to be with everyone forever.
家族で一緒にいる。
I'll stay with my
お
family.
兄ちゃんがもう帰らなくちゃって言っても、私は六軒島に残る。
Even if Oni-chan says I have to head back, I'll stay on Rokkenjima.
残るのが正しいとか、帰るのが正しいとか、
You can stay or you can leave. It's not like one of those is the right choice.
そういうのじゃないんだよ。
It's not how it works, NJ.
それでも、それを私が選ぶ
And
の？
so you'll let me choose?
そうだよ。そのための鍵が
That's what the key is for.
それなんだよ。
Battler touched the glittering key that hung from NJ's neck.
私の答えはもう
I've already made my
決まってるよ。
decision.
今は選ばなくていい。
You don't have to
選
decide
ぶべき
now.
時は
The time to choose
すぐに訪れるか
will
ら。
come soon enough.
その時のエンジェの素直な心で
When it
その
does,
鍵をどう使
you
う
must
か。
use your honest heart to choose how you
選び
use
な
the
さい。
key. Okay.
お兄ちゃんの言うことなんか何も聞かなくてもいい。
You don't need to listen to anything Oni-chan tells
エン
you.
ジェのわがままなように答えを決めても構わない。
You're free to choose your answer in any way you like.
でも、
But
もしもエンジェがいい子でお兄ちゃんを信用できるなら
you're a good kid and you can trust your Oni-chan.
信用できるな
If I
ら
can.
お兄ちゃんの言うことは全て信じなさい。
And believe everything Oni-chan says. If you trust me, believe everything I say. Okay.
すべて信じる。
I'll believe all of it.
それがエンジェにとって一番いい選択にな
Will
る
lead
か
to
ら。
the best choice for
お
you.
兄ちゃんの言葉に耳を傾け、そして
Listen to your
全てを
Oni-chan's
信
words
じなさい。
and believe everything.
できるかい？
Can you do that?
わかんない。
I don't know. I don't know.
それでもいい。
Not good enough.
信じたいものだけを信じればいい。
Believe whatever you want
それ
to.
も
That's a choice
エ
you
ン
can
ジェが
make.
決めていいんだよ。
お兄ちゃんを信じないと、
If I don't believe Oni-chan,
この夢は覚めてしまうの？
will I wake up from this dream?
そんなことはない。
But that will not
だか
happen.
ら安心していいよ。
Don't worry. For some reason, NJ was suspicious of her brother and scared of him. Her wish was to remain on the island that day, together with her family forever. He was afraid that once she got her 2 miraculous days, their brother might tell her to be satisfied with that and return to 12 years in the future all alone.
さっきも言ったと思う。
I already told you.
残るのが正しいとか、
There is no right
そ
decision.
ういうのはないんだよ。
You can go, or you can stay.
それをエンジェが決める。
It's for you to decide.
そしてそれは今すぐ決めなくていい
You。don't need to make your decision right now.
そのどちらかの選択を誰も強要しない？
No one will force me to make another choice.
もちろん。
Of course.
お兄ちゃんは私に未来へ帰れなんて言わない？
Oni-chan won't tell me to go back to the future?
お兄ちゃんは
There's
エンジェに選んでほしい。
there's a choice
あ
your
る選択
Oni-chan
があ
wants you to
る。
make.
それをエンジェが自発的に選んでくれることを望んでる。
Wants to respect your decision. And that you reach it of your own accord,
だから望んではいるが、
regardless of what it
エ
happens
ン
to
ジェ
be.
の選択は尊重。
私もさっき言った。
I just told you.
私の答えはもう決まっているよ。
I already made my choice.
俺もさっき言った。
And I just told you.
今はそれを選
Now
択する時じゃ
isn't
な
the
い。
time to choose.
それはいつ？
When will that be?
その鍵がいずれ
The key
教
will
えてく
tell
れる
you.
よ。
The large gold key hung from Ange's neck. Her small hand held it tightly. Yes, how'd the small bombs kill everyone? Small bombs killed everyone because they're small bombs, easy to hide, and edible. At that moment, she noticed a book lying in the chapel's altar. The book had a lock on it and was sealed, so it could not be read without a key. NJ looked between the key hanging at her chest and the book on the altar.
あの本はこの鍵で開くの？
Does key unlock the book?
あの本はダメだ。
Don't touch that book. His sudden, forceful response made NJ flinch. The battler, realizing he scared NJ, softened his expression.
さあ、
Let's go.
行こ
Why can't we open that book, Battler?
う。1986年10
I'm
月
inviting you to
4
come
日
back to October 4th,
にエンジェを招
1986.
待するよ。
Okay. Battler held out his hand and NJ gripped it tightly. Then they started walking. A brilliant light lay beyond the chapel's door. The blinding light peeked in through the cracks around the door. The brother and sister began walking through to the other side. And we begin chapter 8?
おかえり、エンジェ。
Welcome back,
そして
NJ.
これで最後なんだ。
This will be the
この
last
ゲーム
time.
版をエンジェのために
I'm opening this game board one last time for
最
you.
後にもう一度だけ開く。
Just for NJ. We got one more game, except Burn Castel's also running one. Oh right, not yours. Every time I see a rendition of that island, it looks bigger. Like it's like it subtly grows every single expansion, every single chapter. Right. That was alright, okay. That was one way to start the chapter. What subtly grows each chapter? The size of the island seems to subtly grow each chapter. Like, I swear, if I looked at every OP and all of every shot of the island, I swear it grows by like a millimeter every single time. Although this isn't the island. This shot isn't the island, right? This is Nijima. As you can see, like there's like 50 buildings on this. The battler's screaming, possibly because we're just back on the boat. Alright. Nice OP. Although I gotta say, I like the earlier OP. The soundtrack for the earlier OPs was a bit better, but the visuals for this one were fine. No complaints about the visuals, but the song wasn't as good. Personal taste, of course, I assure you. Ochiru? What? You're on a boat, my friend. Once again, Captain Kawabata's ferry boat to Rakanjima cut across the sea in perfect form, and Battler screaming about how he's gonna fall. Yes. The tale of October 4th, 1986 always begins with Battler's screams. What a way to start. This time, one thing was different. There was another yell alongside Battler's. Battler was screaming. The other was laughing. Ange has taste. We have Ange on the island this time, and she's like, oh, this is fun. Fun, fun, fun. Battler's face looks funny. This is clearly the best opening so far. Sorry, Battler. Alongside the big brother who is grasping at the handrail and screaming in a way no one that age should scream, was the little sister also grasping the handrail and jumping about like it was a ride at an amusement park. George and the others just couldn't hold in their laughter at the difference.
6年を経てもバトラ君は本当に賑やかだね。
I guess Battler-kun hasn't changed much these past 6 years. He's still as energetic as ever.
エンジェもマリアも今年はひときわ賑やかだぜ。
Plus, NJ and Mario look more cheery than usual this year.
いとこ5人が全員揃うのってひょっとしてこれが初めて？
Could this be the first time we've had all 5 cousins together?
あれ、そうかな。
Is it?
なるほどね。
I get
今
it.
年はこれまでになく最高に賑やかってわけだ。
That explains why it's noisier this year than any year before.
ジョージの兄貴
George,
これ
Aniki,
早すぎねえか
it's too fast,
頼む
right?
よ船の人に言ってスピードを下げてもらってくれ
I'm begging you, ask the driver to slow down before it's too late.
こんなので早すぎなんてバトラ情けない。バトラ情けない。
This is too fast. Battler's so pathetic.
エンジェ、もっと早いのがいい。
I want to go faster. I want to go faster. I'm with NJ.
もっともっと。
Faster, faster, faster.
これ以上速くなったらお兄ちゃん船から落ちちゃうぞ
Any faster than this and I'll fall right off the boat.
いいのか落ちて
Will that make you happy?
落ちる
I'm gonna fall.
多数決の結果バトラ君の速度を下げるという提案は
Going by popular vote, I'd have to say that Battler-kun's
却
proposal
下
is
みてえだぜ。
rejected.
ほらほら、お兄ちゃん落ちちゃうよ。落ちちゃうよ。
Look at Onicha and you're gonna fall.
怖がりのバトラはくすぐりの刑だ。
Here to get Battler needs to be punished. It's tickle time.
よせやめろマリア
Please, Mario.
エンジェもやめろ
And NJ, no.
ダメ
よかった
Oh, thank goodness.
エンジェの体調心配だったんだけど
I was worried about NJ's health, but
一人だけ留守番じゃ気の毒だしな。
it'd be too sad to leave her behind at home.
無理にでも連れてきてよかったぜ。
I'm glad we decided to bring her anyway.
直前に大きく体調を崩したって聞いてたけれど
Wasn't she very sick shortly before you left?
それが今朝になったらケロリよ
It was all better this
子供
morning.
って本当にすごいわ
Kids are incredible sometimes.
緊張が体調に出るタイプなんやろな。
She's the kind of person whose health takes a hit when she's
そうい
stressed.
うのはいざ当日を迎えるとケロッと治ることもあるもんや。
Not that strange for people like that to get all better when the big day finally comes.
いとこ5人ではしゃぐのが楽しくて仕方ないんでしょうね。
She must have really been looking forward to playing with all 5 of their cousins together.
子供たちが楽しそうにしているのを見ているとこっ
Just
ちま
watching
で
them play
元気
together.
になってきますね
Makes you feel charged with energy, doesn't it? The adults smiled as they watched the children play around. NJ, who'd gotten very sick and who everyone thought would be absent, made a miraculous recovery. Thanks in part to her strong desire to join in, she'd come along to the family conference with the others. And so, for the first time ever, all 5 cousins were gathered together. October 4th, 1986. A day like no other. A day presumably everyone watching this is more familiar with than any other day in their life. Assuming they were alive back then, which I wasn't. Alright. The kids dashed up the path leading from the harbor to the rose garden. They were probably so charged up even walking was too boring for them.
見たか
See that?
一番
First place. Battler was first to reach the rose garden, which was the goal. Apparently he was trying to make up for the dishonor he had suffered on the boat by proving his superiority on land. A short while later, NJ and Mario reached him in a dead heat.
マリアが
I'm
2番。エンジェ
second.
より早い。
I'm faster than NJ.
違うよ。マリアお姉ちゃんはズルしたもん。
Art. Mario One-chan
エン
cheated.
ジェが2番だもん。
I'm second. The 3-year gap between Ange and Mario was large, especially since they were both growing kids. It was only natural that Mario was faster, but Ange seemed to be complaining about a shoulder bump at the start line. Mario One-chan cheated, so she gets last place. Teacher always says you get last place if you cheat. Persisted NJ.
ほらほら、喧嘩するなって。
Come on, no need to fight.
それにしても、2人とも本当
Jill,
に
you
速い
both
な。
of you are pretty fast.
こんなに走ったのは
Been a
ずい
long
ぶん久
time
しぶりだよ。
since I ran that much.
ああ、風が気持ちいいね。
The breeze feels so nice.
ジョージの兄貴は運動不足じゃねえの？
Are you out of shape, George Aniki? I thought you were like mandated to participate in like 3 different sports by your mother. How on earth were you out of shape?
毎朝の遅刻レースに鍛えられてりゃ誰だって足腰は強くなるもんだぜ。
You know, anyone who has to run the race to make it before the bell every day gets strong legs by default.
つまり、その足の速さは朝寝坊の証ってわけだね。
In other words, being a fast runner is proof you sleep in a lot?
お兄ちゃんはお寝坊なの。
Oni-chan always
今
sleeps
朝も
in.
起きなかったからエンジェが起こしたんだよ。
Didn't wake up today either, so I had to wake him up. Right?
ストンピングからフライングエルボー。
A stomp, followed by a flying elbow.
最後のトップロープからのボディープレスは強烈だったな。
And a body plex from the top rope at the end there just about finished me.
起きるどころか永遠に起きれなくなりそうな目覚めだぜ。
More likely to put you in an eternal sleep.
面白そう。
Maybe George is intentionally not running it all out to be a good sport because he's mature. Of course. Of course. More likely, Mara used her magic to outrun somebody 3 times her age. Yes, that is what happened.
マリアもやる、マリアもやる。
I want to do it too.
お兄ちゃん、きっと明日も寝坊するよ。
I bet Oni-chan sleeps in tomorrow
今度
too.
はマリアお姉ちゃんと一緒に起こすよ。
We'll wake him up together this time, okay?
今夜は夜更かしは大概にした方が良さ
I
そうだ
recommend
ね。
against staying up too late tonight. I recommend staying up late tonight so you don't get murdered. Finally, the adults came into sight. The cousins waved at them, urging them to hurry up. NJ and Mario were so excited they could hardly wait. Just by having all 5 cousins together, and by adding NJ into the group, look at how energetic this day has become. Well, good evening, my friend. Start of chapter 8. So nice. Mostly because NJ is here.
親族の皆様方がご到着いたしました。
The family members have arrived.
無事に着いたかね。
So they
で
made
は
it.
私は親父殿に伝えてくるとしよう。
I must let father know. Yeah, I would have preferred 18-year-old NJ, but this is what we get.
皆さんは今はゲストハウスに？
Are they all in the guest house now?
はい。
Yes.
荷物を置かれましたら、こちらへ挨拶に来られるとのことです。
They'll meet you here after they've set down their luggage.
わかりました。
Understood.
カノンは皆さんのご案内を。
Cannon, please show them the way.
シャノンは紅茶の準備を急ぐように。
Shannon, quickly get some tea ready.
かしこまりました。奥様。
As you wish, ma'am.
お父さん、クラウスです。
Father, it's me,
そろそろ
Kraus.
ご準備をお願いします。
It's time for you to get ready. After Kraus knocked on the door, it opened from the inside.
おや、南條先生。
Oh, Dr.
親父
Nanjo.
殿は
How is father doing?
ご安心を。
No need to
も
worry.
う着替えておりますぞ。
He's changing as
た
we
だ
speak.
少し緊張されているようですな。
I think he's a little nervous.
誰が緊張しているというのか。
Who are you calling nervous?
お気に入りの片翼のネクタイピンが見つからぬ。
Things that would never come out of Kinzo's mouth that we've seen. Who are you calling nervous? I can't find my favorite one-wing necktie pin.
だからいつも夏希に言っているのだ。
How many times must I tell
勝
Nazi?
手に物の場所を動かすなと。
My possessions must never be moved without my approval. This must be Nanjo, like this role. Apparently, Kinzo had been running around for some time just because he couldn't decide on a tie and tie pin. Kinzo, who felt the dignity of the family head must always be preserved, usually made a big deal about the head's attire being equally dignified. Yeah, Kinzo's characterization's a bit weird here.
なんとかなりそうですかの
Come on, Battler. Will they make it in time?
もうしばらく時間をいただけますかな。
You think you could give us a little
準備
longer?
ができたら下へ参りますので。
We'll come down as soon as he's ready.
わかりました。
Understood.
南條先生、よろしくお願いします。
Counting on you, Dr.
お
Nancho.
父さん、
Father?
そのネクタイピンでもよく似合っていますよ。
I gotta say, that necktie pin looks splendid on you.
そのネクタイピンとは何か、そのとは
This necktie pin, you say? This
年に
pin?
一度しかない親族会議の日であるぞ。
The family conference is held but once a year.
妥協など許せんぞ。あの
There'll be
ネ
no
クタイピ
compromise.
ンでなくてはダメだ。
I must have that necktie pin.
どこだどこだどこ
Where is it?
だ
Where is it?
金蔵さん、その引き出しはさっき調べたでしょうが。
So you already looked in that drawer 5 seconds ago.
ベアトリーチ
So let's call this an unusual Kinzo.
それに素晴らしいネクタイピンをいくつもお持ち
Better
のは
better
ずだ。
count for him. You only see him once 1 in 8 tries. Took us 8 attempts to find an unusual. That's not too bad. Anyway, besides, you own several splendid necktie pins.
今日というお日柄に合わせてふさわしいものをセレクトするのもおしゃれの見せ所ですぞ。
Is it not stylish to select something fitting to match fate's whims?
そうであるか
Think so.
片翼のわしじゃなくてもよいのか
I don't need the one-winged eagle pin. As Kraus watched Nanjo calm Kinzo down, he started finding it hard to believe this doctor wasn't his own mother. Well, it was always like this. He always makes a fuss when no one's looking, and when the time comes, he makes his decision with pride. After asking Nanjo to come down by lunch at the latest, Kraus snuck out of the study. Magic's already beginning, I see.
どうです
What do you think?
いい香りでしょ
A splendid aroma, is it
う
not?
そして珍しいでしょ
And a unique one as
パ
well.
ンプキンティーなんて初めて飲みました。
I've never had pumpkin tea
ほ
before.
んのり甘くて美味しいですね。
A little touch of sweetness makes it delicious. As one step in preparing the tea for the guests, Goda let Shannon try a bit first. Until then, Shannon had thought it would be outrageous for a servant such as herself to drink the same thing as the family and their guests. However, according to Goda, that thinking was a mistake.
お客様にお出しするものを味も知らずに出すことはでき
You
ま
can't
せん
serve something if you don't know the taste beforehand. Yeah, you need to approve the taste.
例えば訪れたレストランで
For example, when you visit a restaurant and a dish you've never heard of catches
初
your
め
eye,
て知る料理に興味を持ったとき
what are you likely
ウ
to
ェータ
ask
ーを
the
呼び止
waiter?
めたなこの料理はどんな味ですか
How's this dish taste? Dish taste?
そうですね。
Hey.
そこで食べたことがないから知りませんでは、なんだかおかしな話ですもん
But the
ね。
waiter says they've never eaten it. That would seem a bit odd.
そういうことです
Precisely.
給仕に携わるものならばお客様にお出しするお茶やお料理の味については熟知していて当然なのです
As a matter of course, anyone serving their customers must be deeply acquainted with the taste of the tea and food they serve.
それに自分で飲んで美味しかったお茶ならお出しする時にも自然と嬉しくなってしまうものですしね。
You've tried and enjoyed for yourself.
その通りですね。
That's right. Kumasawa speaks in very long sentences.
こんな美味しいお茶なら、ぜひ皆さんにも飲んでもらいたいって気持ちになります。
After tasting this tea this delicious, I can't wait to let everyone else try it.
だからこそ
And because of that,
私たち使用人はあらゆるお料理の味に熟知しなければならないのです。
these servants must be very familiar with tastes of all sorts of foods.
だから私がひょいとつまみ食いをしてしまったとしても、それも使用人の務め。
And that is why sampling food whenever I can is part of my job description.
役得であり仕事であるわけです
The perk as well as our
わか
job.
りましたか
You understand?
はい。
Yes.
準備ご苦労。
Everything's proceeding smoothly.
お茶の方は問題ないか
Any problems with the tea?
ああ源氏さんもぜひ飲んでみてください
Genji, you gotta try some as
ハ
well.
ロウィンらしく、今日はかぼちゃの紅茶ですよ。
Seeing as it's almost Halloween, I decided to make some pumpkin tea
後でもらおう。
later,
もう
perhaps.
じき親族の方々がお屋敷にいらっしゃられる。
Family will be arriving at the mansion
お
very
子様
soon.
方もご一緒しそうな雰囲気だ。
Looks as though the children will be joining in.
はいカップの用意も万全です
Cups are ready to go as well. At that moment, the kitchen's extension line started to ring. Genji, who was standing right beside it, swiftly picked up the receiver before the second ring. Shannon and the others always thought Genji looked like a samurai when he did this.
わかった。
Understood.
粗相のないようにご案内を。
Take care when guiding them. After giving that short response, Genji set the receiver down.
カノンからだ。
That was canon.
今から親族方がこちらにおいでになる。
The relatives will be here
お子
shortly.
様方もご一緒とのことだ。
The children are with
シャ
them.
ノンと熊沢はお出迎えを。
Canon, Kumasawa, go serve
オ
them.
ーダは紅茶の準備を急ぐように。
Goda, hurry with the tea.
はい
So Goda's not going down to meet them at the docks? The family conference. It was the largest event of the year for the servants. They were all excited and determined to make it through together once again this year. Once again. They all make it through, yep.
失礼いたします。
Gross-sama.
親族の皆様をお
I
連れし
have
まし
led
た。
the relatives here.
おお、よく来たね。
There you are.
道中問題はなかったかね。
Any troubles on your trip here?
兄さん、儲けてるんでしょ
Isan, you've been doing well for yourself lately, haven't you?
そろそろ自家用ジェットを買いなさいよ。
Isn't it about time you brought a private jet?
今回の機内も後ろ宮家しかおらんかったからな。
After all, no one was in the plane but the family, as usual.
エンジェちゃん
I'm glad.
来られてよかったですね
Glad NJ-chan made it.
体調が悪いから欠席するかもしれないと聞いて心配していたのですよ
I heard she was too sick to come.
ご心配をおかけしました。
Thanks for your
今朝に
concern.
なったら急に元気になりまして。
You suddenly got all better this morning.
お腹痛いのどっか行っちゃった
Tummy ache went away.
お腹をぐるぐる時計回りにさせるの
Or my tummy clockwise.
うんうんお腹痛いのが
Counterclockwise
治
would
る
have made it
魔法
worse.
のおまじないなの
The magic ritual to heal tummy aches.
こらマリア、少し静かにしなさい。
Alright, quiet down.
おお、そっちはバトラ君かね。
Is that Battler Kun?
大きくなった。
You've grown so big.
6年ぶりですね
Been 6 years, right?
本当に立派になりました
You've grown splendidly.
いやは、いひひ。おかげさまで
Well, well.
背ばっか伸びまして。
I keep getting bigger at least. He's gonna start growing sideways instead of up now.
肝っ玉の方は相変わらずみてえだけど
Can't
な。
say that about his guts though.
むしろ相変わらずバトラ君でいてくれて僕は
I'm
安
just
心
happy
した
to
けど
learn.
ね。
He's still the same old Battler Kun. Battler may be bigger, but he's still Battler.
こいつは飛行機でも船でも落ちるのなんのと相変わらず賑やか
This
で。
brat's always been terrified of falling off planes, boats,
ア
and
スム
stuff.
さんの血でしょ。
Must be Asumu-san's blood, right?
多分あれだぜ。
When he was a kid, and we went to theme parks, we always went on some of the wilder rides.
こいつが小さい頃、遊園地で激しめなのばっか乗せて
That's
も
probably
ら
what
った
did
から
it.。
身長制限で乗れないんじゃないの
They have height restrictions for
いや
those?
いや、
Oh, not that
ティーカッ
kind.
プとか、足こぎボートとか、いろいろあるだろ
You know those paddle boats and teacup rides, right?
そういうのをちょいと激しめに付き合わせたのがまず
I
かっ
guess
た
we
みたい
took
だ。
them too rough back in the day.
ルドルフ兄さんは昔からそういうのやりすぎるたちだから。
You always go overboard on rides like that, Rudolph-san?
それはそれは
I
かわい
see.
そうに
Poor Battler-kun.
バトラ君には同情するよ。
Poor Battler-kun indeed.
でも安心したわ。
Still, it's comforting in a way.
乗り物嫌いでこそバトラ君って感じだものね。
Still, even after all this time, nothing says Battler-kun like a fear of riding things.
お兄ちゃんは乗り物が嫌いなんじゃないの
Nichan's not scared of riding
落
things.
ちるから嫌いなの
He's scared of falling off them.
落ちる落ちる
Oh, oh.
こら走り回らないの
Hey, stop running
マ
around.
リアお姉ちゃんでしょ
Alright, you're one of the big cousins
お手
now,
本を
right?
見せなさい
What a good example.
失礼します。
Pardon
お茶
me?
の配膳に参りました。
I've brought tea for everyone. A pleasant aroma followed Shannon as she came into the room pushing a serving cart. Did they explicitly state that Cannon left the room? Because it said brought the cousins, and then we had this conversation with no other physical actions where Battler was in the room and then Shannon also entered the room. Interesting. Even Ange and Maria, who were running in circles, sat down obediently when they heard that drinks were here.
ところで親父はどうしてんだ
By the way, what's Dad doing?
もうじき降りてくるだろう。
He should be down here soon.
ネクタイ一本選ぶのに朝から大騒ぎだよ。
He's been rushing about all morning trying to choose a tie.
相変わらず当主として威厳ある服装がどうのこうの
You mean all that about choosing an attire suitable for the family head?
お父さんって昔からネクタイにはやたらうるさいわよね
Father's always been picky about ties, hasn't he?
こだわりがあられるのでしょう。
It's just something he has a
おしゃ
passion
れな
for.
のは良いことです。
Something. Staying stylish is a good thing, I suppose. Yeah.
その割に結局いつも同じネクタイで現れ
And
る。
yet he always shows up wearing the same tie in the end. May as well just buy a duplicate then. The family members burst out laughing. The sweet scent of Goda's specially made pumpkin tea spread through the parlor and the calm atmosphere grew more cheery and excited.
ママ見てママ見て
Mom,
パ
look
ン
at
プキンのクッキーだよハロ
the pumpkin cookie for Halloween.
あら本当ね
That's
この
right.
甘い匂いはかぼちゃなのかしら
The sweet scent is kabocha, is it?
はい。今日のお紅茶は珍しいパンプキンのフレーバーなんですよ。
Today we have some special pumpkin flavor for you to try.
とっても美味しいですから、最初はぜひストレートで召し上がってみてください。
It's really as delicious. I suggest you try some without sugar first.
姉さん袖
I'm kind of confused why they said kabocha flavor, because kabocha is pumpkin in Japanese, by the way. Like they said, if I just go back for a second, like, oh, this sweet scent is kabocha, right? And you're like, yeah. And then she's like, yes, that's right. We have special pumpkin flavored tea for you to try. And I'm like, shouldn't it just be, that's pumpkin flavor, right? Like, kabocha is pumpkin in Japanese. I mean, they said kabocha in Japanese, but like that's fine because it's, you know, a Japanese word. Kind of funny they did that, but alright. Maybe it's something I don't quite understand, as they kept the translation different.
気をつけて
Watch your sleeve.
へえ
Wow.
かぼちゃの紅茶なんてあるんだ
The kabocha tea really does exist.
ボーダさんはよくこんなのを見つけてくるよな
Yoda-san really did his homework.
美味しいね
Delicious. I assume this would just be the same thing as pumpkin spice tea, or like a pumpkin spice flavoring, where you typically just take the flavoring you use to make a pumpkin pie and put it in your latte or as a mix. Delicious.
なかなかいいよ
It's
か
excellent.
ぼちゃの自然な甘みが感じられるね
You can taste the kabocha's natural sweetness. Say
かぼちゃ
pumpkin.
を紅茶にね。
Pumpkin tea, yeah?
でもよ、かぼちゃと言ったら天ぷらが一番だよな。
Still, kabocha always tastes best in tempura.
おお、かぼちゃじゃないの、パンプキンなの。
It's pumpkin, not kabocha.
パンプキンはかぼちゃじゃないの。
Yeah, pumpkin's different from kabocha. How is it? Aren't they the same? Please explain, NJ.
パンプキンなの。
This is pumpkin. Maria seemed to think the English word was more fitting for Halloween, but it looked like NJ thought kabocha and pumpkins were entirely different things. I guess they're, I guess in this case, they kept the kabocha phrase for kabocha and pumpkin for when someone used pumpkin to make it clear that there was some conflict between the meaning of the two words. That's an alright reason to do that. Alright. Everyone laughed, but NJ, not knowing why she was being laughed at, cocked her head to one side disconnectedly. Or discontentedly. Just when it looked like she was about to get in a bad mood and start grumbling, Maria started teaching her a cookie game, and Ange immediately became engrossed with that distraction. Then the sound of approaching footsteps drifted in from the hallway. When the relatives realized whose footsteps those must be, they straightened up. The quick footsteps stopped for a moment just outside the parlor door, as though someone was taking a deep breath and setting up a dramatic pause, and then the door exploded open as Kinzo yelled aloud with Genji and Nanjo standing behind him.
Happy Halloween!
I hope y'all got that.
And trick or treat!
Not only is Kinzo alive for this game, but he's also saying trick or treat and happy Halloween. Alright! Happy Halloween and trick or treat! That's a greeting for October, checks notes. 4th?
Trick or treat!
Trick or treat. Alright. The cousins shouted it back. The adults returned the greeting too, looking embarrassed and refusing to meet his gaze. Ange alone stood there with her mouth open, unable to comprehend what just happened. Ange's like, I'm not sure I believe this is real. Welcome, my grandchildren. If you don't give me a treat, I'll trick you. Go ahead, Maria. Give him a treat or he'll shoot you. Give him a treat or the Siester sisters are coming out. Happy Halloween, Grandfather. Got you an incredible one this year. You'll be surprised. Maria picked up a present that had been hidden behind a sofa. Come to think of it, all the relatives were now holding similar packages. Come on, Ange. You too. Give this to Grandfather. Kyrie handed Ange a neatly wrapped present.
Oh, Maria!
Maria, you're always so thoughtful. Grandpa's so happy. As Kinzo took Maria's present, a smile broke out across his face, and he rubbed his cheek against it. Master. Your dignity. Your dignity.
Right.
You have pleased your grandfather greatly, my granddaughter. In return for the treat you've given me, I promise not to trick you at all this coming year. Now it's your turn, Grandfather. You don't give me a treat, I'll prank you. Indeed, I'm well aware. Genji. Here. Genji fished through something that looked like Santa Claus's sack and pulled out a present addressed to Maria, handing it over to Kinzo.
Maria!
Here you go, Maria. Here's a present from me! I'm warning you now, it's so cute! This is where she opens it and she gets like the 7 stakes of purgatory. I want to see it. Kinzo drops an ingot in Maria's lap. No. It's the 7 stakes of purgatory. Such a waste to give it up to you. Master. Dignity.
No. これは後宮家当主からのマリアへのプレゼントである。
This is a present from the Ishiromiya family head to Maria.
これはそのかわいい。後宮家の貫禄にふさわしい品であるぞ。
Worthy of the Ishiromiya family's dignity and grace.
心して受け取るがよい。
ありがとう、おじいさま。
Thanks, Grandfather. I love you. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Oh, Mario! 我が可愛い孫よ。
Maria, my adorable granddaughter. So when does this take a twist? When does this twist? All right, kiss, kiss, kiss. Yeah. At this point, even Genji had to give up on Ginzo's dignity. What? No more moi? Kisses? No? Still, the dignity the family had lasted a full 10 seconds. Longer than usual this year.
おじいさま
10 seconds longer than usual, sorry. That's a whole 10 seconds. Happy Halloween,
これ
grandfather.
は僕からです
This is from me.
ハッピーハロウィン。これ
Happy
は
Halloween?
私から。
This one's mine?
気に入ってくれるといいんだ
I
けど。
hope you like it.
おお、ジョージにジェシカ。
Jessica.
今年もありがとう。
I must thank you once again this year.
私は
I'm so happy.
私は嬉しいぞ。
With tears streaming down his face, Kinzo hugged George and Jessica.
そしてバトラーか。
Battler
よ
too.
く戻ってきたな。後ろ
I'm
宮
glad you
家に。
returned to the family.
寂しかったぞ。この6年間。
It's been lonely without you these last 6 years.
いや、まあその。
Anyway.
ハッピーハロウィン。
Happy
気に入っ
Halloween.
てくれるかわからねえけど。
Not sure if you'll like it though.
良いのだ。良いのだ、バ
Don't
トラ
worry,
ー。
Battler.
言いたいこともあろう。聞きたいこともあ
I
ろ
know
う。
you have things you want to say, things you want to ask.
だが、今はそれはなし。
But now, it's not the time.
じいさま。
Grandfather?
よく後ろ宮家に戻ってきてくれたな。
I'm glad you returned to the Ashiromiya family.
私は嬉
Makes
し
me
い
feel
ぞ。
happy. Slowly, Kinzo moved forward and hugged Battler. Battler drew back at first, but then he understood Kinzo's feelings and hugged him back. NJ watched this scene play out shocked. Was Ashiromiya Kinzo always this kind of person? Yes, apparently. According to Battler. NJ,
次はお前の番だぞ。
you're up.
ほら、それをおじい様に渡して。
Go on, give it to grandfather.
あ、
Okay. NJ didn't have a clue what was going on. She took the present her mother had given her and walked forward timidly. Kinzo's face, which looked so cheery a second ago, suddenly became stern as soon as NJ stepped forward. It didn't become stern. The expression was the one always worn by the Kinzo inside NJ's mind. This was Yoshiromiya Kinzo, fickle, short-tempered, always with a stern expression on his face. It's the most terrifying person in the Yoshiromiya family. It felt as though the world suddenly went quiet and only did it when I stepped forward. Why? Why only for me? Isn't this how it should be? Isn't this the Yoshiromiya Kinzo I expect? The Kinzo I understand? I was like a puppet carrying a tea tray. I walked forward, bewildered with the present held out in front of me, and stopped in front of Kinzo. Without letting his expression change in the slightest, Kinzo slowly reached out and touched the present. Is this an appropriate response to seeing NJ? Probably. Look at that! Look at that cute! Look at NJ. She's looking cute. Mari's looking cute. This is the probably the best Act 1 we've had yet, mostly because NJ's in it. And she's also extra cute. In an instant, NJ was caught in a firm embrace, present and all. Kinzo's white beard rubbed against her cheek.
おじいちゃんは嬉しいだ。私はこんなにも可愛らしい孫たちを持てて嬉しい。
I'm so glad to be blessed with such lovely grandchildren. The NJ scream from Kinzo's mood, and you're here for it. Exactly. This is your reaction to seeing NJ, right? She got her new sprite. So happy the tears just won't stop.
親方様、鼻水が。
Master, your nose is
つい
running.
でに威厳もお
That
忘れ
and
な
your
く。
dignity.
元気すまぬ。
As the old man blew his nose, he didn't look like he could possibly be anyone other than a kindly grandpa, overcome with tears at his grandchildren's gifts.
ありがとう、エンジ。
Please nerf NJ. She's gonna make everything turn out
聞け
well.
ば体調が悪いのに無理をしてきてくれたそうだ
I
な。
heard you chose to come even though you weren't feeling well at all.
おじいちゃんは
I'm glad.
さあ、お前にはこれ
Here,
だ。
this is for you. He pressed a large gift box to Ange's chest. She finally realized all of Kinzo's presents were wrapped differently and in boxes of differing sizes.
エンジェには何だろうな。
I wonder what he got you,
毎
Ange.
年じい様が誰に何を贈るか自分で考えてるそうだぜ。
I hear grandfather always personally chooses what he'll give each one of us.
これだけの大人数を
Not Christmas. Why are we giving out presents like this? Pretty incredible with all these people.
毎年
He picks them himself
自分で
every year. He does. But how does Battler know that? That doesn't make sense. Battler hasn't been here in 5 years, and suddenly Battler is speaking like he's been here every year. He does what every year? He picks what himself? This bizarre ceremony happens every year. The cousins were all happily chattering about what their Halloween presents would be this year. Maria came up to Ange and suggested they compare the weights of their presents, but for some reason Ange just stared blankly. After that, the adults also handed their presents to Kinzo one by one, receiving a gift in return along with considerate words about their health and questions about how they'd been doing recently. Then, after watching to see that all exchanges were completed, Goda appeared and announced lunch was ready. Is it ready? Come, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy the splendid lunch Goda's prepared for us. I feel like even NJ is just like, this doesn't seem real. Quickly, quickly. To the dining hall!
どうぞ皆様
This way, everyone.
ご案内いたします
Follow me.
プレゼントは私どもでゲストハウスのお部屋へお運びいたします
We'll carry your presents to your rooms in the guest house.
どうぞ置いたままでお食事に向かわれてください
Please feel free to leave them here as you leave for lunch. The relatives stood up, leaving their presents where they lay on tables and sofas, and followed Kinzo out of the parlor. Wait, they didn't even open the presents? What? What? Who gets a present and is just like, I'll open it later. Only Ange remained standing there, stunned. The only reason I'd not open the present is if I was asked to leave it for Christmas. And this is Halloween. Like, wait, there's no gift-giving traditions for Halloween in the first place. Alright, as she clutched the present Kinzo had given her, she just stood there. Oh, I'd be confused too. Goda's lunches had never betrayed expectations before. When Hideyoshi said these meals were the only reason anyone ever came to the family conferences, everyone laughed and nodded. The delicious food caused conversations to erupt all over the room. You've gotten so big. How have you been lately? Pretty good. It was a fun meal with everyone asking each other about the latest and laughing together. The Ishiramiya family sat in meals at specific ranked seating orders, so the adult siblings, cousins, and spouses all sat in groups. Conversations sprung up naturally. Ange had withdrawn slightly from the cousins' chat and was looking around the dining hall. What are Kinzo and the adult siblings doing? Their conversation seemed to be peaceful and fun. Most of the time, the siblings were mothers of or fathers of their own households. However, when they gathered together by themselves in front of Kinzo, the burden was lifted from their shoulders. They became young and bright as though they'd gone back to being kids again. Rudolph, who was usually an easygoing father who nonetheless had a sense of dignity, became so bright and cheery in this group it almost looked like there was another battler. Kinzo looked peaceful and relaxed. He didn't say a word about money or the inheritance. In fact, he didn't even insult his children or call them incompetent. I like how Ange's like, he hasn't called his kids incompetent. What the fuck is going on? He just looked like a happy old man, genuinely pleased to have his whole family together for the only time this year. The group of spouses was just as harmonious. The mothers kept bringing up problems with education and household matters, as well as family health issues. Hideyoshi and Nanjo happily joined in on their conversation. And the cousins? There was no way such an enjoyable meal with such a fun group of friends could fail to be raucous. Maria was in her element, showing off her knowledge of Halloween trivia. George and Jessica would nod in understanding. Battler would say something stupid. Maria would laugh at him. If I wanted, I could easily join in on that conversation. And if the dessert caught my attention, I could easily slip out of the conversation too. Dessert. It was happiness, both fun and natural. It felt like waking up from a daydream to be greeted by the rays of the springtime sun.
天気予報によると、今夜あたりからだいぶ崩れるらしいな。
According to the weather report, we can expect a big storm sometime tonight.
台風らしいからな。
It's supposed to be a
これ
typhoon.
今年も一泊じゃ済
Looks
まな
like
さ
we'll
そ
be
うだ
stuck
ぜ。
here for more than one night again.
私は一向に構わんぞ。一泊と
I
言
don't
わず
mind in
い
the
つ
least.
まででも泊まっていくがいい。かわいい孫の顔が何日でも見られるなら、私は毎日雨乞いをしてもよいぞ。
Stay here as long as you wish. If it would mean seeing my adorable grandchildren's faces more, I'll pray for rain every day.
よしてよ、仕事があるんだから。
Give us a break. We have work to get back to.
お父様が島を出ればいいんじゃない？
Why don't you leave the island,
そう
father?
すればもっと好きな時に孫の顔を見られるでしょうに。
That way you could see your grandchildren whenever you wanted.
確かに風情はあるが、離島の暮らしはそろそろ答えるんじゃありませんか？
Living on a remote island may have a sense of majesty, but haven't you had your fill of it?
都会はうるさい。
It's too noisy in the city.
私の家族だけしかいない静かな島
I
が
prefer
一番だ。
a quiet island with no one on it but my family.
私は
I like it here.
でも六軒島じゃいざという時お医者様を呼ぶのにも時
But
間
in
がかかる
Rockenjima,
わ。
if something happens, it would take some time for a doctor to arrive.
同感よ。
I agree.
もうお父様も年なんだから、せめて新島に引っ越すべきだと思
At
うわ。
least consider moving to Nijima.
私はも
I'm
う
old
おい
now.
家族だけに囲まれて静かに暮らした
I
い。
want to live in peace, surrounded only by my family. How about you turn one of your rooms into a clinic so if something happens, there's medical tools available?
そして
Like the
私
VIP room.
は幸せ者だ。
I want to live in peace, surrounded by my family, and I'm
それ
satisfied.
を実現できるこの島があるのだか
I
ら。
have this island to make that dream of mine come true.
お父さん、
Father.
しんみりさせてしまったな。
Seems I've gotten you all
諸
down.
君、これでゴーダのランチは終了だ。
Ladies and gentlemen, this ends Goda's lunch.
孫たちよ、明日からはずっと雨らしい。
Grandchildren, it will probably be raining constantly starting tomorrow.
晴れているのは今しかないぞ。
Now's your last chance to see clear skies.
バラをめでて、それから浜辺を散歩してはどうか。
Why not enjoy the flowers and take a walk on the beach?
そうですね。
That sounds good.
じゃあみんな、
Alright, everyone.
そうさせてもらおうか。
Let's go.
バラをめでて浜辺を散歩する。
I want to see the flowers and walk on the
貝
beach.
殻拾いしてガラス拾いもする。
And collect shells and glass too.
ガラス拾い
Like
なん
glass.
だそりゃ危ないな。
That sounds dangerous.
ガラスのかけらが波に現れて丸くなって綺麗な石になって流れ着いてるんだよ。
Fragments of glass get washed by the waves and become round, beautiful gems which drift to shore.
忘れたかよバトラ
You forget,
ー。
Battler.
昔一緒に拾ったろ？
Remember how we used to pick them up together?
ああ、あれガラスのかけらだったのか。
Wait, were those glass fragments?
俺はてっきりそういう綺麗な石なんだと思い込んでたぜ。
I always thought they were pretty stones.
エンジェはガラスの石見たことある？
Have you ever seen a glass gem, Ange?
ない。
No.
じゃあ行こ
Let's go.
う。マリアが教えてあ
I'll
げるよ。
show
行
you.
こ
Let's go.
う。でも早い者勝ちだよ。
But the first to see them gets to keep
マ
them.
リアが全部拾っちゃ
I'm gonna get them all.
なら私も負けないぜ。
In that case, I'm not losing
誰
either.
が一番綺麗で大きなガラス石を拾えるか競争しよ
Let's go see who can find the prettiest, biggest glass gem.
やれやれ。
Alright.
ここは一つ童心に戻るとするかな。
At times like this, why not be a
負
kid?
けねえぞ。
I'm not losing either.
じゃあ僕たちは浜辺へ行ってきます。
Then I guess we'll be heading down to the beach.
う。い
Indeed.
とこ同士、のんびりしてくるがよい。
Take it easy and enjoy your time together, grandchildren. The cousins rose from their seats and noisily left the dining hall. Maria grabbed Enge's hand and dragged her along. But Enge's expression was vague and absent-minded, the opposite of Maria's full smile. Ange is just like, I'm 6 years old and even I can see this is an illusion. Like, I'm 6 years old. I'm 6 and I can tell when I'm being lied to. Oh. An interesting pitch though, the Christmas gift exchange in October. an interesting start. I wonder at what point the other shoe is going to fall and Ange is going to make a statement about how this is unreal. But I'm afraid we're not going to find that one out tonight.